Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. This is Amy Figueroa, otherwise known as Coach Amy 2.0, and I'm jumping on here today to first tell you that I hope all is well with you and your family. I hope you're staying safe. I hope you're staying healthy, and I hope you're staying inside as much as you possibly can. I personally am an outdoors girl. I'm a busybody. I love people. And that's a part of our feeling of being connected to all that is. But given the current circumstances, I hope we're all doing our best to do our part. The reason for my jumping on here today and you seeing all these products here is I really wanted to go into a deeper dive on how you can ensure that you are truly staying on the mark with keeping your hands clean, keeping surfaces germ-free, and so forth. And I would not say that I'm a germaphobe, but I would say that I'm a person who am pretty next level extra about this type of stuff on a good day. I actually have teenagers and young adults in my home. So the one part of the challenge of this whole situation is, when your 20-year-old son has a girlfriend and they're joined together at the hips and you're divorced and your kids go to your ex-husband's half the time and they come home the other half the time while we're all staying home between 3 different homes you have to look at that are coming into play. It can be nerve-wracking to really know, am I really covering all the bases as far as keeping things very sanitary? So I have a bunch of things laid out here, but I really think that they're very relevant and they're very important things to talk about in terms of like cross-contaminating, our stuff with each other, even though we're all individuals and especially living with young adults. I mean, from the first time I knew that my son or my daughter had their first kiss, I was like, don't touch your toothbrush too close to mine, because I'm like, I don't know where that mouth has been, but it's the truth. So since this coffee cup just fell over, I'm going to jump in and start with this. I can't tell you how many times pre-COVID-19 that I would go to the drive-through to get on my way to the city and order my coffee the way I like it because it's convenient. And I'm not going to mention any brand names, but there's one brand name in particular that just would cringe me every time. All the more, I personally, for the last 3 weeks, have stopped getting all takeout type of items like that, because when you are trying to be conscious of the whole situation of cross-contaminating each other and you order your cup of coffee to go and the store worker hands you your cup like this. Oh, let me do it again just to cringe us out more. Like this. Without a glove, there are many brands out there that are not using gloves. How is that healthy for my lips? How is that healthy for my body when someone's hand, I don't know where their hand has been. I don't know what they're touching. I don't know if they washed their hands in the bathroom after they took a potty break. So on a good day, I have a huge pet peeve with that. But all the more, I'm really not getting takeout when it comes to drink items like that. If you found a store that actually hands you your coffee like this, which is the proper way, just handing coffee cup 101, then I would say, okay, but any of this kind of thing, it's not going to be helpful for, sustaining your good health. Okay, let's talk about, I got my little chickadee towel here. Let's talk about hand washing. So we know hand washing, we have to wash our hands for a minimum of 20 seconds now, and that's all good. Try to keep the water as hot as you possibly can stand it. But the one thing about having a hand towel there next to the sink is that, just like a shower, for example, if I were to take a shower, my body is clean, isn't it? Yes, it's clean. And then I towel myself off and dry myself off. Well, my body is clean. My towel may be damp, but I'm not going to let someone else use my towel and no one else should want to use my towel. Even though I was clean when I dried myself off, it's still a personal item. So my challenge to us and my feeling about hand washing and then rubbing your hands off on the towel and running to the other room, if that person didn't really get it in, for the 20 seconds and and really, really get every single germ off their fingernails and the pads of their fingers and everything, then you really are still looking at the potential of cross-contamination of germs. So that's why in every sink in my house, I just have a paper towel roll. And when I wash my hands, I still keep the water running. I'll dry my hands off, and then I shut the sink off with the paper towel. Then I'm basically germ-free, of course, until I touch the next surface if it's not completely also germ-free. But I just think that that's another, kicking it up a notch. Coach Amy 2.0, it's all about kicking it up a notch. So these are ways of leveling up your, sanitizing processes at home. So I'm going to go with 86 the hand towels, just like you wouldn't share a bath towel, and go with paper products as much as you possibly can with that. Okay? Next, it's very obvious. We all know that, wiping things down constantly, especially like I said, there are people in my house that are coming and going. We're trying to keep it to like 2 to 3 days here at the one house, 2 to 3 days at the next house, and then every other week. And we're trying to kind of keep a lid on our kids in terms of that. But like I said, we don't have full control over those are the ones who are driving. We're instilling how important this whole situation is and the severity of it. But at the same time, we're not following everybody's footsteps around every single minute, especially if our kids aren't still in diapers and, crawling around the living room in a little baby fence. So just make sure you're keeping up with that. When I've had to go to a store, first of all, I'm very shocked at how many people are still out. However, no judgment. I do have to go out every few days to pick up more items, and I'm trying to keep that down to what's only necessary. When you really look at the news, you can be very distracted and overwhelmed and actually experience a lot of anxiety as a result of that. It's nothing for us to freak out about, but the best thing to do right now is to stay at home. The best thing to do right now is to just stay out of the way of people as much as possible. But sometimes when you live in a house that there's several of you that kind of live their own lives, it's just something to raise the bar on being mindful of. So, again, this is rhetorical. We've heard about this, over and over and over and over again, washing items down, that, we bring home from the store. Okay, so let me jump into a really, really huge one that I am extremely tight about on a good day. And that is brushing teeth. Now, where is she going to go with this one? Oh, you're going to find out. So remember how I just made a joke and I said, when my kids started to get a little boyfriend or girlfriend, I was like, oh, let's just make sure we keep all the toothbrushes separate. No touching, no kissing toothbrushes. Don't worry, guys. I'm going to give everybody a new toothbrush after this. So the thing of it is with that, to me, if someone is incubating this disease, or like I said, even on a good day and carrying this illness, but maybe not demonstrating, symptoms, toothbrushes touching, toothbrushes touching is definitely a way of spreading germs. Now, there are a couple ways that you can get around this right now, especially if you're living with multiple people. For one thing, you can, invest in I'm not necessarily trying to plug anybody here, but this is the one that I usually keep in my gym bag. But if we did isolate that and give each our own little toothpaste, that's going to be helpful. And let me explain to you the reason why further. Besides, the toothbrush dance here in the cup, when I go ahead and you witness here, when I put my toothpaste on the toothbrush, right, I'm basically rubbing all the bristles. Ew. So the fact of the matter is, no matter if everyone seems healthy or not, or whatever the case may be, that's an extremely personal item that I should say right now at this time would be a positive thing to kick it up a notch and sort of keep all those things separate. So what's another way of doing that? Get these little, contained, my electric toothbrush has a lid. I keep it away from everything. I use my own toothpaste anyway. Shh, don't tell my kids. It's just the way I am. It's just the way my head is. Sorry, not sorry, but it's just how that goes. So using these little to-go travel ones, at least if everybody's still leaving their crap all over the counter, at least that keeps, everybody has their own color, everybody has their own toothpaste, and it keeps those germs or potential germs, keeps a lid on it, literally a little bit more, okay? The other thing about mouthwash, you could invest in a bunch of little itty bitty ones, or buy a great big gigantic one and then buy the smaller bottles and, I have 3 kids and I could put the first initial of each person's initial on a container that's their own. But one thing my kids will tell you from as long as they've been using mouthwash is, again, like if you pretend, I'm not going to do this now because I'm not going to have anywhere to put it, but if I pour the mouthwash and I'm pretty conscious of it, that's one thing. But I always tell the kids to waterfall it, and they know that term, waterfall it. And I would do that on a good day, but all the more, you're going to want to be waterfalling your mouthwash, especially if you're sharing that with other people. Does that make sense to you? It makes sense to me. Okay, now let's jump into the final thing I want to talk about, like the health and safety tips as far as being sanitary and, trying to be germ-free. And then I'm going to end off with just a few more tips about this stay-at-home initiative and give you some ideas that I'm sure are getting rhetorical by now, but I just want to end on that piece. So stay with me for just a few more minutes. Now, you have so many really awesome, masks out there now. This has a little ventilator. It has a filter that you can, insert in that. And that's fine and well, but we have to remember that wearing a mask out in public doesn't necessarily create this thing to be immune of the germs that are out there. So this is going to want to be handled with care all the same. So in other words, say I'm outside and I've got my gloves on, I'm touching everything with my gloves, I'm touching this, I'm touching that, I'm touching this thing, I'm touching that thing, I'm picking up my everything, I'm getting my water bottle, and I don't immediately before I, take this off my face, this is a clean glove anyway, take this off my face, start touching it, then I'm already cross-contaminated. If there was like little infrared colored particles on this, probably even from it just sitting on my table, you're going to cross-contaminate your mask, especially if you touch it on the inside. So this is something that you really want to treat like, a fine, delicate little tool. And if in order for it to be useful and helpful for you, you want to keep this as clean as possible. If you have more than one, it would be great to wash them, alternate them. And I even wonder if, I know there are a lot of medical grade type of things out there, but I would rather see you guys use a disposable mask. In other words, you one and done it. You use it, you get it home, you lose it. Because the minute you touch it with anything else, or if you were out in an area and the person in front of you was carrying the disease and sneezed or whatever it is, we don't really know enough information right now about how long those particles can live airborne. Okay, I'm going to put my little glasses on here. Sorry, I keep knocking over this fake, you see I didn't use a brand cup. I don't even really have a brand cup around because I haven't had anything like that out. Make your own coffee. It tastes much better anyway. So let's summarize this time. I love you guys. You're the reason I do what I do. I really care about us as a collective. It's this morning, I actually will be honest with you. I have my own ways of just sort of meditating and learning when it's time to take a deep breath. But when you listen to the news for too much right now, it gets a little nerve-wracking. And, this is real. This is not a joke. This is real. And so in order to support you, in order to give you a few extra coaching tips beyond just what you can do to be able to level up your game of, sanitizing things in the home, I'll leave you with these few notes. Get fresh air if it's possible to do so. If it's possible to do so safely, if you have a back porch you can sit on, if you can walk around the neighborhood, for a block, or you have a local track that's next to you that it's not inundated with people, getting fresh air is very, very positive for your mental clarity. And getting fresh air is good for your lungs. Putting your little piggies in the grass for a minute, sticking your feet in the grass, it's something that causes you to feel grounded. It causes you to feel a part of all that is, even though we're isolated from one another. Next, if you're working from a desk, I'm going to highly encourage you to get up at least once an hour to stretch. do some stretches, do some jumping jacks, do some posture exercises, and I'll come back and give you a completely separate video regarding that, because I'm working from my desk right now, and we really want to try to avoid that forward neck posture. And just, I swear, my body hurts more sitting down than running around New York City every day. Again, don't watch too much news. Get in there, be informed, stay in the know. I know sharing the news with my children who are 14, 18, and almost 21 there, it definitely was very sobering for them to understand that this is a real situation. I want you to be informed, but I don't want you to be overwhelmed by the information in a way that it starts to create anxiety and other fear in your body. What else can you do while we have all this time at home? You can read a book, you can listen to an audiobook, you can try a new recipe, you can do game night with your family if you have family members around. You can do those things that you're always wishing that you had time for. Look at the positive, look at the ray of light in the darkness right now. If there's tension in your house based on this new normal, or you have kids that are, talking back because they're used to being free, and mine have been actually amazing. I'm not subbing anyone there, but even if you're partnered with someone and you're like, I'm not used to spending this much time here, whatever that may be, the truth is just, make sure you're able to call a timeout. Make sure you're not attacking each other. We have to be on the same team. We're all on the same team right now. We're on team life, we're on team health, we're on team collective effort. So just try to keep things in perspective and make the most of it. And finally, what I'm going to say is, always drink plenty of water, keep your body purified. Hot water with lemon is a great natural purifier. I am just, I swear by Ziacam, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. I've just been taking one a day to keep my immunity boosted, obviously. Extra vitamin C. Take a nap. If your body feels tired, let it ride. Just take that nap, and make sure you're moving your body and exercising in some way at least once a day for 30 minutes. I just want to say, from my family, from my humble abode to yours, I love you guys. I'm here for you. Feel free to reach out, DM me with any questions, concerns. You can reach me at amy@coachamy20.com. You can text me at 845-271-7525. That's my direct business line to Coach Amy. Also, just know that I'm here, Instagram fam, at Coach Amy 2.0. I love you. I wish you health, peace, and all good things. Have an awesome day, and I'll catch you guys soon. My little remote thing is supposed to work, but I guess, I don't know, I can't get it to work. So I'm going to try to stop it now, and it's not working. So now you're going to see my big face in your face. Love you guys. Ciao, ciao.